Hi guys, and welcome to Angling View, and today jamming a fantastic fishing tackle and bait for another tackle review. Now, interestingly, a new landing handle from Guru, and it is the Engage Pro. This is 4 metre. Now, it's around 145 quid, so it sits in the Tawny Pro, Arity, although it's slightly under they are, but around that category. But it sits under and between the F1 Guru and the fully forged Aventus 4+1 or 5 metre landing handle, which is around the sort of 180-ish, give or take where you are, bracket. So we're gonna, first impressions, I've just literally got it out of the tube, and I've not put it together or taken the end caps off. Hopefully these are easier to get off than the Aventus ones, because they used to drive me mad with mine. But I expect good things because both the other two are fantastic. Firstly, just going on the outer, I don't know if I like this finish. I don't know. How to explain? All I'll say is the slip through your hand is great, so that's probably where the finish comes from. I think you older anglers, me included in that, will probably get where I'm going with this. Well, although it's a simple sort of layout of the colour, the feel, the shine and the blend of colour reminds me of the old-fashioned poles that you used to get, the sort of really heavy ones that are like, I don't know, yeah, they were like hard. Oh, that comes off way easier than Aventus, but that's not to say anything to do with how the pole handles as a landing handle. So let's shut up about how it looks, that's personal opinion, and go on to the actual usability and how it is of a handle, which I'm sure is going to be fantastic, because that's what the Guru ones are. They are market leaders, in my opinion, for this. So first thing to notice, 3 sections. This is obviously the second section, there's one inside here, but it is another one where it's dual use. So already has my my vote of confidence for that, because I do like the dual use. And as I said, there's the other additional section. Now, following the feel of the pole, they followed that shiny sort of material. Doesn't feel like a pole section. It's very, very smooth. And again, like I'm saying, like the old school poles that used to put over poles that used to come out. That's what it reminds me of. I'm not saying that it's as heavy as that, of course. But again, the feel of it does feel smooth and easy to ship through. It's a different outlay to the Aventus, which has obviously got the more carbon fibre look to it, but it sits in that, like I say, that bracket in between. Let's put it together for the first time. The sections do feel really strong in the hand. I do like the beveled and inserted screws that the Gurus have. They give you a lot of confidence and strength there, coated with that EVA outside, so it's all weather and stops rust. Oh, that goes in lovely. So that locates really nice, and that's probably down to the way they've beveled that in. It's a little bit like a nose cone. It does go in, and bloody hell, does feel rock solid, that. Christ. I mean, there's no moving that. That is unbelievable, really. And it's interesting to see why they have done another landing handle, because obviously, in my opinion, they've got the best out there. Okay, so 4 metres. First thing I'm going to say, even with the 4 metres, that feels rock solid. Now, the Aventus has definitely got it on weight, which you'd imagine. This is not, when I say it's heavy, it's not heavy in regards to heavy, but it feels like you could drive a van over it. I mean, it does feel unbelievably strong. I can't explain what I mean. It feels heavy, but not in a bad way, because it don't flop, it don't droop, it's super stiff. It just feels built. That's what I'm going to say. It feels built, it feels hench. And like, even at 4 metres, I could land double figure carp on it with no problems, and not have any problem with this additional section. because even the bore on it is not as small as some that are against it. Let's put it together just as well, it'd be around 3 metre, which is what a lot of commercial anglers will use. I mean, there's no movement in it, guys. I mean, that is, it's probably market leading. I don't think there's any, even with the Tawnies, they'll be slightly lighter, and the Free Spirit slightly lighter, but I mean, I could literally beat someone to death with that. That is that stiff. I honestly, in fact, I'm going to slide it to Matt. Matt Jackson's behind me, right? How mental's that?
Yeah, it's rock solid.
That is insanely solid, that, isn't it? And it does, do you know what I mean? It feels like the old school poles, doesn't it? The material. Yeah. But it feels like you could beat someone to death with it quite easily. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I'll say about that. You know, that's all I can say. Like, you could definitely kill someone with it, like, quite easily. But it still remains super stiff, easy in the hand to ship in and out with that slip grip. I can't say I'm a fan of it. I can't say I'm a fan of how that looks. I'm honest, against the Aventus, but it's a tool at the end of the day, and as a tool it looks amazing. So what we're going to do is get a net on it and see what it looks like with a net at the 2 different lengths, because obviously that's the test, isn't it, when we've got a net on there. And I'll go for I'll bring 2. I'll bring one that's a slightly smaller one to go on at full length, because that's what you'd probably use it for, and then I'll get a beastie one for bigger fish, and we'll have that on the 3 metre. Right, boys and girls, we are going to pick up, and we've put a sort of F1 style net on, like you'd imagine, rock solid, and even solid enough that I've got a dodgy wrist, because I played tennis for the first time in 28 years yesterday, and my wrist feels like it's been run over. So even with that, you can quite easily hold that at length. What we'll do is just ship it back. I'm going to stick a slightly bigger net on, and we'll have a look at the we'll have a look at it with, and it is a big net. I'll be honest, it's an absolute ginormous net. It's a friggin' wild salmon net, is that? But you know, got to test it, and you got to test the strength. So I might as well put a big net on. So seldom would I have such a net on there. Never in my fishing, as you all know and watch. If you are watching the channel, you'll know that I'm trying to wedge massive carp into the smallest of nets. So primarily because I'm short and I can't reach the bottom. So, well, I mean, even with that donkey stupid net, even with wagging it up and down, it just don't do out. It just don't move. I'm gonna pass it to Matty. It just don't move. Don't whack the camera, Jackson. It's stupid, isn't it? It's like what they've done is made a clothes prop that's light enough to fish with, that don't bend. That's crazy. That is crazy. I mean, I have no other word to say that how crazy that is.
Stronger than my clothes prop.
Let's see. It's stronger than Matt's both. But yeah, so you can, that's it. If you want to double it up as a clothes prop and cut a notch in top, you probably could. Let's jump on to the conclusion and see his thoughts. Right, guys, my thoughts. It's overwhelmingly positive, but I've got to throw in the negative. So, as match anglers, or as commercial anglers, or as pleasure anglers, majority, not saying everybody, cares about what things look like. This, for me, looks like a 30 quid whip, which sounds brutal to say. It doesn't look great, in my opinion. And I know you might say, oh well, the Tournament Pro is just silver, you know, with it is, but it just looks classy, and now it does. When you see this, and this is how they blend it on the rods, it don't look bad because it's like that big. But when it's on this, I mean, if you look at that, I'm just saying, it does look like when you see a rack of whips, like if you put it there, look, it looks like when you look at a rack of whips and you want to pick one up, and you're like, oh yeah, that material feels like a whip. That's the material, isn't it? It's an old pole, or a whip, but like a cheap whip kind of material. So yeah, that's the negative. Positive, in this price range, it smashes everything. There's nothing as stiff and strong and effective for that money, 145. There's nothing. That is it. And that's probably in the flagship. Well, it is for most landing handles. That is the flagship range. But then obviously they go above that with the Aventus, and the thing you get with the Aventus is you obviously get the extra +1, but you get the slightly light. It's definitely slightly lighter, and it feels nicer for me than this one does. But again, this is just personal opinion, and in no way does this affect anything to do with you buying it. If you're in that bracket and you want the best that's out there for that price range, that's it, without doubt. Especially if you're fishing commercials. If you're fishing, you know, naturals and stuff like that, you might want something longer, thinner, lighter. Then yeah, that's fine. But in a commercial setting, that's going to do everything. I mean, some part of me knows, sort of doesn't know why they brought it out, because like, if you're going to pay 145 for that or 185 for the Aventus, you're going to get that, aren't you? And save a bit of money. You know, I personally, the gauge to go into the Aventus is not enough for me. Obviously you've got the extension, and that's partially where the money's going in. It's a little bit lighter, but you're not holding your landing net handle up in air, are you? You know, you're scooping. So for that, it's brilliant. I'd like to see how it reacted with a bit of water on it though, because it's slippy. I mean, it's easy to ship through your hands. It is good like that. Who knows? Your decision. Definitely get down and try one if that's what you're looking for, but you won't be disappointed, is what I'm saying. If you want something strong, something that's going to do the job, that's the best out on the market, in my opinion. Of course, we have to say that because people get cross. So thank you very much for watching, as always. If you want to join us for any other reviews or product reviews or anything like that, come on Angling For You on the YouTube and look through. We've either got unboxing reviews or we've got pole unboxing and reviews, just to make it a little bit easier if you're just looking for poles. Now, just don't be hurt your feelings. We are unbiased. We will say exactly how we feel, because that's just the Yorkshireness of who I am. If it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not. And that's what we'll say. But again, it is our opinions. We always implore you to come and sit down and test, especially if it's a pole. Come down and sit and test with it. So thank you very much for watching. If you want to join us on the Facebook group at Angling For You, if you want to join us on the Instagram at Angling_for You, that'd be superb. If you would like, share and subscribe, that'd be even better. Join the Angling For You family. Until the next one, guys, thank you very much for watching. Tailhands.